Niall, how confident are you that you'll win and Prince Harry's visa application will be made public? And crucially, I suppose, what are the consequences if Prince Harry is found to have misled Homeland Security?
Well, thanks, Tom, for having me on the show tonight. And as you pointed out, actually, I was in court listening to the proceedings over the course of the last 2 or 3 hours. And I have to say, the outlook from our perspective here at the Heritage Foundation is very positive. The federal judge presided over a hearing that lasted about an hour and a half, very detailed questions for both sides. But at the end of the hearing, he instructed the Department of Homeland Security basically to make a decision with regard to the release of Prince Harry's immigration records. And he asked the Department of Homeland Security to respond within a week. So a very clear instruction from a federal judge after months of stonewalling by the Biden administration. So this is a very positive, I think, message from the court today. The judge also made it clear that if the Biden administration decides to rule out completely releasing the records, then he will ultimately, make a ruling on whether the record should be released or not. So I expect there'll be another hearing on this matter. But I think there's a lot of momentum for moving forward. A very good outcome for us today, and I think there's a very good chance actually that Harry's immigration records will ultimately be released for the American public to see. And there's a very strong public interest in the release of those documents.
Yeah, and Niall, just this is hypothetical, of course, but if he did mislead Homeland Security and he didn't talk about his drug taking, what would be the consequences, quite simply?
Yeah, that's a very good question. So if Prince Harry lied on his immigration application, we don't know exactly what he put down, but in light of his extensive admissions of drug use in Spare, if he was dishonest in terms of his application to the United States, that's perjury, that's a criminal offense. Normally in those instances, individuals would be asked to leave the United States. So the stakes are extremely high here. It's certainly my view that if Prince Harry has nothing to hide, he should support the full release of his immigration records to set the record straight. These documents really belong to the American people. I think they have a right to know what's in them. Prince Harry is a high-profile public figure who now resides in the United States, is very active on a whole range of issues within the US. And opinion polls show in the US as well, the majority of Americans want to see the release of his immigration records.
OK, and now we should point out the Heritage Foundation is bringing this case on a point of principle. You believe Homeland Security is being a bit liberal in its use of this law. It's not a personal vendetta against Harry, at least we don't think it is. But out of interest, have you asked Prince Harry himself what he put down in this form?
Well, there's been no comment from the Prince Harry camp, it has to be said, with regard to this immigration application case. We've heard nothing whatsoever from Prince Harry's side or his army of lawyers, and he has been remarkably quiet on this issue. Yeah. And undoubtedly, of course, it was a big mistake for Harry to be talking in detail about all of his drug use in Spare. Perhaps he's regretting that. He should be held to account for exactly what he put on his immigration application vis-a-vis the revelations in Spare.
OK, we will watch with bated breath how this one goes.